credit back is to start building your credit again, and I will show you. Oh, and I forgot to show you guys. So inside the envelope, there it's this page talk about my credit report, how they pull my credit, and so my score is 733 as of March 28, 2 days ago. So online it said on average, someone with a 680 to 720 minimum. Well, that depends on your annual income and other factors, but so I would say if you have a 700, you should be able to get this card. And if you make over a certain amount of income, I think over 30,000 a year, maybe more. But the higher the income, the higher the credit, obviously, the higher the chances of getting approval. Oh, as a matter of fact, you can go to the American Express website. They have this thing where you can apply and see if you're approved. And if you're approved, it won't damage your credit score because they're not making a hard inquiry poll. But if you're approved and you decide to accept the offer, then they will do a hard inquiry poll on your credit report. Then that will lower your score by maybe 5 to 10 points. But you get to find out if you're approved um, before it takes a hard inquiry poll. So that's a good benefit. So just go to their website and you can find out if you're approved and which card you're approved for. So the first thing you want to do when it comes to rebuilding your credit is to start having activities, positive activities. Now, I know based on my personal experience, there are TIs. I know probably a good percentage of TIs because of gang stalking. The TIs are not thinking about their credits or not. Those things are no longer important to the TI because of gang stalking. And over time, based on my experience for myself, I no longer care about paying bills. I only pay bills when it's necessary. And for me, I just didn't care to pay back my credit card bills. So that destroyed my credit. And I didn't use credit cards for over 10 years of my life. And one thing that I did not know about credit card back then was how important credit is in America. And also, if you have good credit, you can do a lot of things with good credit. You can borrow money with lower interest and make investments. And there's just a lot more options. You can buy a car with low interest because you don't want to go into a car dealership and buy a car and they come back with a 10% interest or some places even close to 20% interest. You don't want to buy a car with 20% interest because after you pay the car, you're practically paying them for the price of two cars. So whenever you have good credit, you can go buy a car and you can get the lowest interest that the car dealership will charge, and that saves you a lot of money. There's just a lot of benefit. So the first thing you want to do to rebuild your credit, if you have collections, I okay, I called in and I made deals with them. I negotiate a final price, a term that I can repay them, and they will stop reporting it to the credit reporting agencies. Because if you have collections, they will report it every month, up to 7 years. Or you know what? The account stays on your file for 7 years. And during that time, if you talk to any of the collection agency, that 7 year time frame will reset. So if you've been ignoring those collection calls and you don't have the money to settle with them, then just don't pick up the phone. Don't talk to them. And after 7 years, since the date you went delinquent, that negative report should drop off of your credit report. But during this time, you want to do positive things because those reporting are so negative, so you want to do positive things. Well, what can you do that's positive? Well, slowly rebuild your credit. But if you have collections, you're most likely not able to qualify for new credit cards. What can you do? Well, there's one, you can open a secure credit card. Secure credit card is where you put in an initial deposit. So let's say you put in $500 and the bank will give you a secure credit card with a credit limit of $500. But not everyone can qualify for those because if you have really, really bad credit, the bank might not even give you that. But they should. So you don't have money to put in as a down payment for the secure credit card. The next thing you can do is, I use this company here, this service called Self. So Self, I highly recommend because I've been using them for the last 2 years. So what it does is they agree to give you a loan, but you don't get the money. You start repaying them a fixed amount for 12 months or 24 months. And once you pay off that loan amount, they will write you a check and give you that money back, minus the interest they charge. So, and I will break it down. There's a breakdown I will show you guys. Let's watch the videos from them so they can explain it.
The Self-Credit Builder account is an installment loan that enables people to build positive payment history and save money. The best part? You don't need a credit score to get started. And as you pay the Credit Builder account, your payment history is reported to all 3 major credit bureaus. At the end, you've established credit history and the money in your account unlocks and comes back to you, minus interest and fees. Self. Build credit, save money, do it yourself.
Okay, so it's what is the Self Credit Builder account? It's a loan in a bank held certificate of deposit, CD, that you pay off in monthly installments. How does Self build credit? Each monthly payment gets reported to all 3 credit bureaus. That builds your all important credit payment history, which makes up 35% of your credit score. So it's important to make timely payments. And with Self, you're paying them a fixed amount, and every month they will report it to the credit bureau. So now those are positive reporting. It's a positive thing that it shows you're making payments. And once you pay off the loan, the CD loan, the certificate of deposit, you should have about 12 months of positive payments. And those 12 months of positive payments will boost your credit score. And once you have a higher credit score, then you might want to consider applying for a credit card. Nothing fancy, start with the basic credit cards. I highly recommend during that 12 months, repaying Self, you want to get some money and open a secure credit card. That's what I did. My credit score was in the 500s about 3 years ago. And I am also a victim of identity theft. So, I opened a secure credit card. I used Self like 4 or 5 times since then. And I did not talk to any of the collection agency, and those collection was dropped off. And once it dropped off, I only have positive accounts on my credit report. And it took me over 2 years. Well, I would say 2 years to get my credit score to the high 600 and maybe low 700. But repaying back your loan, repaying your credit card on time every month, it's what gives you a positive credit report. And when you get your credit cards, you don't want to max out your credit card. You want to keep your monthly balance below 30%. So you have $1,000 credit limit. You want to make sure your end of month balance is $300 or less. That's the standard, because the amount you owed on your credit card, which is called credit utilization, that's 30% of your credit score. So you want to keep your balance below 30% of your total credit limit. And you can do that. You're going to see your credit score keep going up and up. And credit score is important because once I show you guys whom your gang stalkers really are and what they look like, well, it's no longer the government, so you don't have to stress over government. Now your next phase is to get your life back. So you have to start getting your life back, and one of the things to get your life back is to get a better credit again. Because you probably want to have good credit so you can have a better life, buy a home, or even if you're renting, there's places that where you rent, they check your credit. And you don't want to be declined when it comes to renting a place that you really want to stay at or buying a place that you really, really want. A lot of places check your credit, and it's one of those things you should really take care of. So here's the pricing plan. You can start out with $25, as low as $25 for 24 months. And after 24 months, you'll end up paying them $600. And they will charge you $89. Okay, there's a $9 administration fee to start. And after that, you pay them $25 a month for 24 months. So in total, you're going to pay them $600 plus the $9. And at the end, you get back, they'll send you a check or direct deposit into your checking for $520. So your final cost to self is $89 for the 24 months of their service. So that's 24 months of positive reporting on all three credit bureaus if you make $25 a month consistent payment. And that will boost your credit score a lot. I don't know how many points, but a lot. So if you're in the 500s, you could get yourself in the 600s. You're in the low 6, you can probably get yourself to mid 6 or high 600 credit score. I've been using this company for 2 plus years, and there are times where I didn't wait for 24 months. I'll just, if I have extra money, I'll just pay it off right away because there's no penalty for you to pay it off right away. So I pay it off. It'll report to my credit report showing account paid in full. And then I opened another self account, another loan, and I did that 4 times already. But every time I did the higher amount. I did this $150 a month amount because the way I see it is I get the money back. So that's why I'm doing it, because I get the money back. And I recommend this to everybody. And the reason for that is because this company will help report, uh, help you rebuild your credit by reporting positive transactions to your credit reporting agency, to the credit reporting agency. Okay, so right here they charge 15% interest, 14.14. And the reason you probably wonder why I want to go with this and have pay for more interest, well, it's going to show that I got a larger loan. Because if you want to go, if a company pulls your credit report, they see that, oh, you satisfy loans, but then they see these lower amounts. I guess in my mind, it's just these are small loans. So if I want to go with bigger purchase and it shows I repay bigger loans, it just shows that I can handle these larger loans if I decide to go borrow money from a bank or from a credit union, places like that. So there you go. And oh, and you get to have a Visa card as well. So about okay, so right here, potentially access the self Visa credit card using money you already paid into your credit builder account in as little as 3 months. There's no hard credit pull. Okay, so that's two good things. One, I was talking about secure credit card. So with this, they'll actually give you a secure credit card. So as you keep paying them back, let's say for me, I did the 150. So after 3 months, that's $450. I repaid them. And that $450, I can open a self Visa card. And this is a secure credit card. So I can transfer that $450 into the self Visa card, and I will have a self Visa card with a credit limit of $450. And each month after that, as I keep paying them $150, I get the option to transfer all that money in the builder account into the secure credit card to increase my credit line. So let's say here, when all this is done, I'll get back $3,076. But technically, I can just say, you know what? Don't put that money back into my account. Just put all that money into a Visa card. So they'll transfer this 3,076. I mean, the max limit they have is 3,000. So they'll transfer $3,000 into this Self Visa secure credit card, and now I have a Visa card with a credit limit of $3,000. And it doesn't pull. It doesn't do a hard credit pull, because whenever you have a bank pull your credit, it lowers your score. It shows that you're trying to borrow money. So it's not a good thing. Actually, the more credit inquiry you have, it keeps lowering your score. The credit inquiry, it's about 10% of your credit score. And all these hard pull, especially if you don't get qualified for the card, these hard pull lowers your score and it stays on your credit report for 2 years. And the more credit inquiry you have, it shows the bank that you might be at risk because you're looking for money. It shows you're struggling for money and you want to have more money. Well, that's what people like to spread the words on. It's that too many hard inquiry pull. It's not a good look on you. But if you have good credit score, you have good income, it's not that big of a problem. But so yeah, so go to this website and start one of these credit rebuilder account. It's going to start giving you good uh, reports on your credit report and start rebuilding your credit again. It's going to take you about 2 years. So there's no shortcuts. There's no hiring a company to have them fix your credit report. I mean, maybe some of them work, but you don't need to hire them. You can do it yourself. And if you're receiving collection calls and you don't have the money to settle with them, don't even answer the phone, because as soon as you pick up the phone, that 7 year since the time you were delinquent, that time frame resets. So once you pick up the call, that 7 year will reset. Now you have to wait another 7 years. Unless you're a victim of identity theft, you can somehow get them to drop it. Or if you really study into it, you might be able to dispute those charges with a credit reporting agency. But be very careful, because if you don't get it disputed, don't quote me on it, but it might reset to 7 years. But I'm not quite sure on that one, because I didn't really have problems with that. So all TIs need to get their credit back, because it's not the government. You don't have to stress for the rest of your life thinking it's the government. It's not. So with that off of your shoulders, you still got to live your life. Shimon, signing out.